Hi, this is Dr. Dave. In this video, I want to look at how to find a model for some approximately linear data. The tool we're going to use for doing this is Desmos. But before we can start using Desmos, we need to take a look at the data that we want to work with in the first place. So in section 1.3 of our textbook, there is a data table. The independent variable values are along the top. The dependent variable values are along the bottom. And so what I need to do is I need to put these into a table. Then I need to use Desmos to find a linear model of the form y equals mx plus b. The technique that Desmos uses is called linear regression. So within Desmos, that's desmos.com, we're going to go ahead and hit the Start Graphing button. Right up here, we're going to be doing our work to find this linear model. And to put in a data table, I'm going to go up to this plus button and go down to Table. It lists this table with x1 and y1, but I can change the name of these variables here. I'm perfectly happy with that. So I'm going to go ahead and put in the independent variable values that were in the textbook. As I do this, I'm hitting the Enter key to go down to the next row. Once I've put in the first column, I'll use the mouse to go up to the next column, and then I'll put in the dependent variable values, followed by Enter. Now, with these values in, you might look over this window and say, wait a minute, I'm not seeing anything. But remember, my independent variable values here run from 85 to 125, and in this window I'm not going to see that. So I'm going to go up to my monkey wrench here and change my graph settings. I'm going to go from -5 over to 200, and then perhaps about -0.5 up to about 8. When I do that, I can see those 5 data points right here. The reason why I use the negative values is so I can actually see my axes here and the labels on it. So with my data in, now I'm ready to do my linear regression. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to type in my model. Now I have to use the variables that I used up here. So I'm going to say y. To make a subscript, I'm going to go ahead and use the underscore key that's along the top of my keyboard. 1. And now this is really important. The next thing I need to do is to move over next to that y1. So I just use a right arrow key on my keyboard. And there is a button on your keyboard that just kind of looks like a squiggly line. It's also available under Functions here, under Stats. This button right here. So I'm going to click on that, and now I'm going to type my model. mx, I need to do a subscript here, so x sub 1, and then plus b. Let me hide the keypad here. So there is the linear regression model. It shows down here that the m value is -0.0395. The corresponding b value is 7.0675. I also can see my correlation coefficients in here too. So with this model, now I can go ahead and predict things outside of my data points. That would be extrapolation. Or I can predict things kind of where my data is. That would be interpolation. But in any case, that's a pretty easy way to get your model using the free tool Desmos.